Imagine, if you will, a blank canvas. If you had no gold, how would you buy it? Where would you buy it? Unfortunately, there are various different tiers of dealers out there, and the ones at the bottom are there solely to make as much money off you as possible at the detriment of your gold investment journey. I've got a cautionary tale to tell today of a gold stacker who had a blank canvas and very nearly fell victim to one of these, inverted commas, legal scamming companies. He wouldn't have lost everything. He'd certainly have got some gold, but at what cost? Fortunately, there's a happy ending to the story, and we're going to share that in today's Precious Metal Ramble. Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to another Precious Metal Ramble. Now today I've got a bit of a cautionary tale to tell about buying gold. Imagine if you had a blank slate and you were looking to get this stuff for the first time. There are so many different options of where you can buy physical gold. Unfortunately, there are various different tiers of dealers. I say dealers in inverted commas for some of these lower tier ones, because unfortunately there are plenty of companies that will basically legally scam you. And what I mean by that is that you'll end up getting gold, but you're going to pay way too much for it, or you're going to end up with coins that you don't really want or need. And you could just buy something so beautiful and simple as sovereigns, half sovereigns, full sovereigns, whatever it might be, Britannias, from more reputable sources and dealers, and be very, very safe in doing so, knowing that your investments are hopefully going to come to a fulfillment at some point, unlike some of the false promises that are made by unscrupulous companies. Now, I'm not going to name and shame individual companies. There are plenty of these, what I call bottom tier. They're kind of like bottom feeder companies. They just like try and latch on to people who maybe don't know any better. And I had some communication with an individual who shared his story about how he nearly put a large sum of money into these kind of companies and then managed to break out of that cycle when something just didn't feel right. So well done him. We're going to share a bit of his story and then some of my tips, hints and tricks for staying safe when buying gold, because it's really not that scary or not that scary or difficult to get. It's very easy, is what I'm trying to say. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section on how you stay safe buying gold. Any tips that you've got for brand new stackers of gold and silver, because there are unfortunately people out there in this world that just want to take advantage as much as they can, as often as they can. And I know that a lot of new people get a lot of value from reading what more experienced stackers have to say. And in many ways, that's where we lead into this sort of cautionary tale, because one of the things that the customer mentioned was that a lot of the research that he'd done into gold and silver through watching not only my videos, but plenty of other content creators out there as well, helped him realize that something didn't feel quite right. So the gentleman wanted to put in tens of thousands of pounds into gold. He's been a bit disillusioned with just having money in the bank, savings. Okay, that's fine. I mean, different people will invest in gold for different reasons. I would always say, as I'm not an investment advisor, is just make sure that you're doing what's right for you in your own financial circumstances. And this gentleman has made that decision. That is not for me to question or to second guess. He wants to buy gold. Great. It's where you buy your gold from that I guess is a bit difficult. And this is where I'm going to sort of talk about the different tiers of dealers. We're going to start at the bottom with these bottom feeders. So there are plenty of different companies out there that will make gold sound, best way to say it is make it sound sort of like it's a really exclusive thing that a very few select people in this world have access to. And how that they'll use various different sort of fancy terms and live access to the markets and brokers that can lock in deals and all of that. You don't need to have those kind of things to buy gold. Gold is a physical thing that is readily available in society. You can go to plenty of different shops. In the UK, less shops in person, but you can go to plenty of different shops in the US, in the UK, in Europe, and you can buy gold. You can buy it online. It's super easy to do, and it's not difficult to get hold of. So the idea that you have to have this exclusivity around it, that you need a broker to do your trades for you to lock in the most competitive price, is quite frankly, excuse my French, a load of bollocks. You don't need that. You just buy gold. So these bottom feeder companies that don't have products listed on their sites, and they don't do that for a very clear reason, because that would allow their customers or their potential customers to price compare against other dealers. So these companies rely on you wanting to feel important. They use pressured sales tactics, social engineering to basically say, you're important, we think you're important, we've got a specialized broker who's going to help you with your investment decisions. This is just a load of tosh. It really is. It's basically there to make you feel important, like you're making the right decisions and that they're working for you. Unfortunately, they're working for you and they're taking a lot of the profit and the money out of what they are working for you with. So that's the first sort of bottom tier company. I mean, I suppose you could put even a lower bottom tier, which is those that are going to outright scam you. What I will say about these bottom feeder companies is that the vast majority of the time, you will end up with real gold coins. You'll just have paid through the nose for them. Prime example was, I think about 9 months ago, I sold 50 sovereigns, I think it was, or maybe 40 sovereigns for a gentleman who'd bought them from, incidentally, the same company that this Cautionary Tale gentleman that's just got in touch bought from. And they were all young head Victoria sovereigns. At the time, the spot price for a sovereign was around about £350. He'd paid £475 a coin at that time for a young head sovereign. They were billed as historical examples of amazing coins. Now, young head sovereigns, yeah, you do get a little bit. I've got a young head shield back here. I don't know if I've got any young head regulars, but I'll have a look through as we go. Young heads do get a premium, don't get me wrong, but it's not, here we go, there's a nice young head. They don't get hundreds of pounds of premiums. Shieldbacks, I've now lost that shieldback, here it is. Yep, there we go. Shieldbacks, they get about 30, 40, 50 pounds premium, depending on the quality, depending on the year. They get a little bit more, definitely, 100%. Like right now, £500 for a shieldback sovereign seems about a right fair price. Right now for a bullion, just a bog standard bullion sovereign, you're looking at about 460 to 470, depending on where spot is. Young heads, yeah, you can maybe get a tenner extra. So for this company to charge them £100 odd more per coin was outright robbery. And this person thought that they were exceptional quality, but when I got them in hand, they were just bog standard, really worn, not particularly rare, not particularly aesthetically pleasing sovereigns. And unfortunately, the guy basically sold them. He ended up getting around about a £10, £20 loss per coin. So he lost money on that. The sad thing is if you just bought 50 sovereigns from Atkinson's or Chard's or Blair Bullion, Tavex, there are plenty, Hat and Garden Metals, I'm just going to name as many as I can remember, Bullion by Post, gold.co.uk, Aranum, there's loads of different bullion dealers. Then he'd have had £100 per coin profit. Huge difference. That's where these things lie. So, yeah, it's one of those things where you get real gold, but you pay through the nose for it. So the real bottom feeders are the scammers that will just take your money and not actually send you anything, or they'll send you fake gold. That's less common because they can really only do it once or twice before they get told off by the police, trading standards, or just whatever, they just disappear with your money and never heard of again. The companies that rely on their expert brokers to lock in deals, they work on volume. They just have advertising out there. They target people who are affluent, who can't. People who think they're a bit too important to be hands-on with their investments. They go, oh yes, it sounds wonderful to have a broker for my gold. Yes, I'm going to use my broker, and he's going to buy me lots of gold coins. And they don't know they're being kind of conned into this for, it could be decades. It could be decades. And then, oh yeah, my broker will buy it all back at me, and he said he'll buy it at a 10% premium. It's wonderful. I'm generalizing a lot with the accent there, but unfortunately there are a lot of people who are just in that category of high toff wealth that just want to, chuck their money onto gold and let somebody else do all the work. That's not the way you invest in gold. That's just setting yourself up for a failure. So apologies for the big generalization there, but that is unfortunately how it works, and those companies will feed on that. So the gentleman in question, back to the Cautionary Tale. So it didn't sit right with him. Something was wrong. Something was different. He'd done his research. He then broke from the cycle. He said he'd already actually transferred them some money. That's the other thing. If you're buying gold from a company, from one of these big dealers, you just buy the gold. You send them the money either through bank transfer or debit credit card. Usually, actually, by law, there should be no price difference. In America, you can get a price break if you pay by bank transfer compared with credit card, but in the UK, that's illegal. You can't do that. If a company has something for sale, it is at a certain price. You either pay by debit card or you pay by bank transfer. That's how it is. So you do that. I'd recommend paying by debit or credit card, although credit card sometimes you can get charged fees for cash transactions if it's gold. Be careful on that. Check your card providers for more information. But debit cards, you have protection. If the company doesn't deliver, you will have a way potentially to challenge that. But you'll get the gold. You don't need to put 10,000 into an investment account and then wait for them to lock in a price from their expert brokers. They're not waiting to lock in a price. They're waiting to see what the cheapest thing they can buy on the market is and then sell you at the highest price. They don't hold stock. You know, companies like Atkinson's, Chard's, Bullion, all of these big name dealers out there, they will have a vault of product that they will look to sell. They will have a certain amount in, and it will be just on their site. You know, right now, Atkinson's don't have any half sovereigns or sovereigns in stock, probably in part to the fact that I've been showing them off so much and telling everyone to bloody buy them. Not just me. I know there's plenty of other people who are buying sovereigns for the right reasons, but they're popular right now. They are popular right now. But because they're out of stock, you can't buy them. So you have to wait, or you have to buy something else that is in stock from these companies. Whereas from the perspective of the Cautionary Tale gentleman, you know, chucking that money at that company and then waiting for them to lock in something, that is them finding the best price for something that they can get and then passing a huge premium over to you, the sucker, on the other end of the deal, unfortunately. That's how they work. So don't buy anything that is not currently in stock. That's a very important thing to say. And stick with your mainstream dealers. It is so easy to buy gold. It is so easy to invest in gold. Gold is so much better than silver. I mean, look, there's going to be silver hardcore people out there that will hate me for saying that. But silver is unfortunately far too just chunky and unmanageable in larger quantities. If you've got a decent sum of money to look to lock away, then you will really struggle. For example, this kilo bar here, spot price is what, 700 something pounds, something like that, 700. You know, you're looking at right now 470 for this, 230 for this. That's what, 700 already? If you get these two coins and you hide them somewhere very secure in your house, you're much better off than this. If you've got a big budget and you've got enough to buy everything you see on the table here, this all fits into a little tube. I've got a tube here of half sovereigns. It's so easy. It's so easy. And you can just lock them away and forget about them. But unfortunately, people don't necessarily think that. They think, like these companies want you to, that it's an exclusive thing, that you are special if you're buying gold. Gold is now accessible to the masses. It used to be something a lot more special, but it's not now. It's just an everyday thing that people can buy and invest in and enjoy. And the good news is that the gentleman who shared his story with me has managed now to buy some gold from a mainstream dealer. He bought sovereigns. Of course he did. Sovereigns are great. They're the best thing since sliced bread, as you can see. I love my sovereigns. I love my half sovereigns. And they are fantastic. So yeah, that's my cautionary tale. What I would say is if you are ever looking to buy gold and any of what I've said in this video starts to happen, brokers telling you what you should do, fancy sales pitches from some posh sounding accented person on the other end of the phone, maybe they've got a satellite office in London in the financial districts and we have instant access to the gold markets, that kind of crap. Run a mile, buy from a big dealer, buy from Atkinson's, Chard's, Tavex, Hatton Garden Metals, Bullion, Orornum, gold.co.uk, plenty of other dealers, insert names here. I'm so sorry if I've forgotten some of the big ones out there. Betted & Co, plenty of others. Don't buy from the Raw Mint though. Oh, they're rip-off merchants as well. But that's another topic for another time that I've talked about a load. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would the Raw Mint charge more for a brand new sovereign than any dealer would? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. But anyway, that's not the topic of the video. I hope that maybe this video saves somebody else from making poor decisions when it comes to buying gold. Because unfortunately, the people who have fallen victim to this in the past don't know necessarily they've been conned. And they won't know for a few years. And by then, there's nothing they can do. And unfortunately, these companies rely on that. And they will use pressured sales tactics to make sure you don't sell. I've heard stories of these companies telling customers who want to sell that now is not the right time to sell. We as an organization can't offer you the buyback that we promised because the market conditions are X, Y, Z. It's just a load of bollocks. It's just spiel to keep you in the loop. If you hold for another 3 years, you'll get even more returns. Or even in some circumstances I've heard where they've actively offered a buyback that's higher for a small sum. And then they've gone, oh, by the way, we've now got some new stock and this is the new thing in. And it could easily get you the same returns in 2 years. And people then go and put even more money in. That's happened before. In fact, that happened for the chap who bought £250,000 worth. He bought 50k, and then I think he told them he'd got another $250,000 to spend. They then said, your investment's gone up. We're going to pay you back 60k. And he did, and he thought, this is great. I've had it for 6 months and I've made 10k. And he plowed 250,000 back in, and they sold him so much crap. Oh my God, it was awful. Kilo proof coins for £100,000. That was the flagship coin in his collection. Brand new from the mint, they were 68,000, something like that. And the spot price on them at the time, 50 grand. You know, we are talking big sums of money that they can sometimes get. Not good. So I hope maybe in as best way as I can, without naming, shaming, and getting sued for defamation, because they're doing this legally. That's the crazy thing. It's so sad. I hope that maybe, just maybe, somebody will save themselves a boatload of money. So yeah, there we go. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know what you've got to say on this subject. I think it's a really interesting one. I think it's something that we need to talk about more of as a community, to share the word and spread the word that it's actually super easy and safe to buy gold just on your own. Just do it, buy it, forget about it, stick it in a drawer and worry about it another time. Perhaps maybe slightly securer place than a drawer than that. Now I've said that, but you know what I mean. Thank you all for watching, especially to the Backyard Bullion Ramblers. Thank you to all the cool Kids Club members. You guys are absolutely amazing. We'll see you on the next video. As always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.